which way to rap. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way to rhetoric. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with Jae Tea and Low.
On no Gucci.
Wrong for that shit.
Ain't nobody.
Hey, hey, say that again.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so you know what I'm gonna say. Hanging.
I don't use baby oil for that. I use baby oil just for shit. I used to use baby oil. We are? Oh.
Baby oil.
Hey! Yo!
He want to know when Diddy gonna get his next shipment.
Yes.
Oh, let me make sure my ring is off and everything.
Jae Tea was trying to see where they did with all the baby oil.
Hey, yo! What's up, folks? It's Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low.
And that's a cop.
Hey, man, we back. Angelo is out of town. You know, he was, he's out of town. We're going to keep it at that. We don't like be. We don't like be. We don't like be putting that pinpoint on.
Turn it off. No, I stopped him this time. Shit. No, it's the the thing that you got to turn it down again when it's on action on a site. Yeah, I didn't do that time.
You didn't do it that time. Just like you didn't do it the last time.
And the time before
that.
And the time before
y'all
that.
Were talking to me, I would have got it done before they started. Yeah, can't be my fault.
Yeah, man. So hey, man, what's going on, people? Great week. We about to get some things started. How was your week, bro?
I had an excellent week.
I'm all off right now.
Just working.
That live came real quick.
Working at you.
We live. Hey, yo, we live. I'm like, oh. Woo. Hey, man, listen. If you're already looking at us, you're in the right place. So what I need you to do is go over there and hit the little heart. Once you hit the heart, all of those, what y'all call them? Emojis. I'm gonna get it. The emoticons. I'm like, the emojis, they're gonna pop up when those pop up. I need you to hit those buttons. As you hit those buttons, it's gonna help our
algorithm.
It's gonna go up. Listen, people, I keep telling you, we're free now. You better go and get in while you can. Get in while you can. Listen, and if you're looking at it and some further friends are on Facebook trying to find us, you know what I'm saying? Go and press the button and share this thing. Go and share it. Tell your friends. What is it? Tell a friend. Tag a friend. Tell a friend, tag a friend, and we can get these audience numbers up. We're on TikTok, and we killing it on TikTok. Matter of fact, the shorts on TikTok is hilarious. Y'all need to get on over there. The same thing, Classic Konversations, Classic with the K, Conversations with the K. Get on in there, get that follow, hit that follow button over there, and also tell a friend, tag a friend. We're gonna get them numbers up also over there. 404-500-1605, just in case you're brave enough to give us a telephone call, because I think people are scared to call. I don't know. You ain't got to say your name if you call, but just give us a call. Holler at us and everything. And it's like we're starting over again. So how was your week, bro? You good?
I had an excellent week. Excellent week.
Excellent week. Okay, we got our resident educator in the building. How you doing, lady?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
She has become. She's becoming. Us. She's not going to be a guest too much longer. But go on, talk about yourself a little bit. I know you don't like to tell everybody a lot of stuff, but just give them a taste.
Give them what y'all need? What y'all want?
No, let's go on. You want to go on throw your social media out?
I am Gyzay Sunray on IG.
She ain't gonna give you too much more. Not at all.
You don't need too much more.
We're gonna go ahead and jump into some of the topics, some of the crazy topics that's come up in our community over the last 7 days. We're gonna start off with Shannon Sharp, Uncle Shay. It's hard for me to call him Unc because I think I might be older than Shannon Sharp, so hard for me to call him that. But yeah, Shannon Sharp had a audio clip pop out of him supposedly having sex with a young lady by the name of Michelle. He says that he's a man that doesn't know technology that well, and he has an assistant that supposedly does all his work. I can believe that some of these cats, they don't do all of their social media postings. And he said that, he actually threw his phone on the bed and somehow it went to IG Live, and he said it wasn't no play. He jumped right on in. He said he don't walk in and talk. He walk in and walk. He gonna jump in it. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think this was staged? Do y'all think this was a mistake?
Absolutely staged. Because they have been saying that this man is gay and he wanted to put it out there. However, it didn't work the way he thought it was. Because in the words of Missy Elliott, we don't want no 1 minute man. That clip was about 1.5 minutes long.
Well, he swears up and down that he was going like 25 minutes before the clip started.
Say what?
Damn. See, See, I've been looking
He
at
said,
CSI
I'm going to give
long.
it to you.
I've been looking at CSI and Law and Order way too long. Because at the beginning, I kind of, I was feeling for, Shay. But then after I sat back and really thought about it, I was like, IG Live. Man, you have to hit almost 6 buttons to get to IG Live. It's hard for me. I've done IG Live by mistake, but it was after I touched about 12 buttons. It's hard to just get to IG Live, especially if you wasn't already on IG Live, and he swears up and down he's never been on IG Live.
Well, I can't get to IG, so I know you're lying.
I want to understand what you're saying. Are you saying that the clip was longer than what we heard?
This is what he said. I didn't say that. He said that he had been going for 25 minutes before it actually went to IG Live. But the thing is, if you threw the phone on the bed and you wasn't talking, you were just walking, how did it go directly to IG Live? Why did it wait to go to IG Live 20-something minutes later?
All I know is what I heard was, I'm going to give you this.
Yeah, he said. He said it.
And within a minute to 90 seconds, he was done.
That was the best minute and 97 she ever had.
Hey, let me tell you
But
something.
was it?
Hey, when that
He was kissing her, right?
When I tell you he sounded like a bear.
He did.
Whoa.
He did.
It was over with.
He did.
Over with it quick as it started.
He definitely gave old man just getting some.
Yeah, that 25 minutes.
Growling.
That would have been a bigger growl.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my point. He.
But remember when I texted, I thought it was bullshit off the rip. I said, nah, you need to do that, bro.
I thought it.
Because anybody that's, well, not me, but I know I always make sure my phone is off, boom, boom, way
Not
over
you.
there.
Look,
just so in case you fall asleep,
hold
ain't
up,
nobody going to my shit.
Not me, but I make sure that my phone is.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Not that I do that to anybody I know now because I'm just not dating. But if,
Yeah, I feel that I'm with you in regards to it didn't go like he wanted it to go, because when I looked at the live that night, the supposedly emergency nightcap, hey, looking at him, he was messed up in regards to I think in regards to the responses or what reactions that he got from his family members. I don't think maybe he forgot to warn them that he was going to do this.
Right.
But he
Right.
was a little messed up with that because
Right.
he was back and forth. They would tell jokes, and then he would come back down. Ocho was killing them though.
Yeah.
You know, because just the prior week
Ocho
Right.
real.
he had got on Ocho about
Right.
being professional or whatever, and he really. I mean, he kind of tore Ocho down on that. I mean, he talked to him like he was a kid on that one. I didn't like the way he treated him on that. I didn't see that video till later, but Ocho was killing him.
Do you consider that karma?
I was set up so it wasn't karma. If karma just would have happened, because think about it, it's like, what would you be doing on IG Live and forget to do it to the point where you just set it down? You know?
But I'm saying, even if he set it up, it still backfired on him.
Yeah, it did.
After
Well,
he told this man that he wasn't professional.
Well, now it backfired, but at the same time, let's face it, that little sex pill. Now he blowing up with that.
And that's why I think it definitely was a setup.
So he has
came out
an
with sex
endorsement?
pill.
Yeah.
He's advertising
He has
sex
an
pill.
endorsement with what is it? Row something. Row something.
Don't
I don't
need 'em,
agree.
Don't know
I don't
about
agree.
it.
Yeah. He
It didn't help. I don't agree.
You know, I just want to know when did men start walking
Couldn't
around? When did?
Oh, I thought you said it.
Because if it's a sex pill,
But when did men start
don't know.
walking around?
he's done in a minute.
bragging about using a sex
I've
pill.
never used them.
You know, when do you walk around and be like, you looking at females talking about, girl,
When
I'ma pop
money's
that blue pill and
involved.
tear you up. You
When
don't do
money's
that.
involved.
You
When
might
money's
pop the blue
involved.
pill and not say that you popped it.
When money's
Exactly. You like,
You
you
don't
gonna be
say
here.
it.
But when
25
money's involved, or if you are an elderly man,
If you're an elderly man,
if
he
you're an
ain't
elderly man, or if there's money involved,
He's
there's
not,
money involved.
Hey, he ain't elderly now. Don't do that to me. He's 50, what, 50?
I'm not saying he's elderly. I'm saying that's when
who
you're
do
going to
it.
brag about a blue
so,
pill.
So he's, wait a minute.
However,
I'm in the wrong chair. Where am I?
some people don't know, like 40% of men over 40 have.
Yeah, but they
ED.
don't walk around and go, hey, girl.
No, of course not. I agree.
That's what I'm saying.
I read this recently. 40% of men over 40 have issues, have ED, have erectile dysfunction. Oh, you knew what it was. You didn't. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
She just called
That's
you
good,
out.
brother.
She just said he knows it.
Yeah.
We need a round of applause that he has no idea. That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah.
Because like what I
And she
said,
co-signed on it too.
what I said in our chat, because the first thing I was thinking was, this dude doesn't need any more publicity, any tricks to get publicity. But
That's what you
when
said,
because that's why I didn't think it was a setup. But then, like I said, after again, I've been looking at too many cop shows. After I sat back, I was like, wait a minute now, IG Lives, I did it. And I was like, okay.
There was too much evidence at the scene of the crime.
And then the whole video, the past videos of people calling him gay and stuff like that. And I was like, And any woman named Michelle that
I was
happens to
gonna
know
say,
Shannon is
we
in
need
trouble.
Michelle. We need Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Come
call
forward,
in.
Michelle.
Hey, can you imagine the money that he paid
My
her to
Michelle.
stay low? He really paid her some money to shut up. Whatever Michelle, wherever she at. But they popped out with
Was
like
Michelle
6 or
Michael?
7 different Michelles that they think it is and everything. So, it's what it is.
But who does that? Would that be common
What?
for you to just be up in there and start and calling out names? That's why I feel like it was staged, because he wanted to make sure everybody knew it was a woman that he was.
No.
That's
being
a good
intimate
point.
with.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Why would you yell out a female's name when you know who she is? It's
Right.
only you two in the room.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
your girl. Why would you say? That's a good point.
I don't think it's his
about
girl,
it.
but listen, we're gonna get back to this one because because it wasn't his girl. He said it's just somebody that he what?
No, but why would you call her name out? That's a good point.
You don't call your lady's name,
Dude, when you know her.
He said, "My Michelle."
Dude, you don't. So when you speak to your lady, you know who she is. You don't say her name.
I don't do that with randoms. I have to be in a long-lasting relationship in my heart.
What?
So listen, and with that, we'll be right back.
You're not like that too.
Police always chose the combative route at that point. There was no point for him to say, all right, nah, matter of fact, get out the car. You know what I mean? Because he'd already complied at this point.
Yeah, they opened up the door and pulled him
He
out.
already complied at this point. You know what I mean? So you open up the door and pull him out, he'd already complied. And now you snatching him out. You know what I mean? Then you putting him face down. Now you handcuffing. You know what I mean? What are we doing this for? You know, at this point, what's the charge? You know what I mean? The charge was you pissed me off. That was the charge.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. And so...
Because it wasn't clocked. He wasn't clocked, so they can't get him on speeding.
Yeah.
There wasn't no space to pacing. They could have got him for a reckless driving if there was anybody crossing the streets. So yeah, he did push the envelope on it, and you know, Tyreek gave him the bait, and he took it.
He gave him the bait. You know what I mean? That's why I can't just say Tyreek was 100% innocent. He could have, you got a game. You got pulled over. He could have handled it differently.
So, is the statute of limitations going on Black Chris? Is it gone?
Don't mention that at all.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so yo, we back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And that's a cut.
The commercial breaks,
We go right,
which I don't know.
right. We're gonna get into why would you bring? We're gonna get into some of the comments, but we're gonna go back. We're gonna get into our subject matter, but we're gonna go back in regards to the whole name calling thing. So you were saying that men don't call women names when they're having sex.
I just felt like, for one, it was just too short, and to go into saying all that within a minute and my Michelle. It just seemed very theatrical and fake, And what if people are calling you gay and you want to put it out there, a different narrative, and of course you're going to try to make sure people know you're with a female.
Yeah, because she did say his name too.
Because
So, yeah,
it could have
he made
been
sure of that.
a man, it could have been a whatever else. So
That's what Ocho said.
Not really,
He said,
so-
he said at least it was Michelle and not Michael.
that's my point, and that's what he wanted. That's literally what he wanted.
Listen, let's do this real quick. Listen to my, the initials.
What's that?
LG.
I don't. LGBTQ.
There's more of them.
Okay, listen. to that community.
Because they got LGBTQ now.
If we're offending you, we apologize. We're not trying to, but this is a subject matter here.
We're not saying anything offensive.
You just don't know.
Okay. I agree with you.
You don't know these days.
I agree.
So to all of them, I like to call it, and this is no disrespect because I don't want to leave anyone out. So I like to call it the alphabet group plus, sometime minus, but just want to put that there. If we are offending you, this is not something that we're trying to do, but it is a subject matter right now. So now, so don't hold Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Low plus Asset Cop accountable for anything, because the way our insurance is set up, our checking is hooked up to our savings, and the savings is hooked up to a prepay, and ain't nothing in the prepay. So you ain't getting nothing yet. Just telling you right now. It's what it is. What it is. So real quick, let's jump into Diddy.
Jump into
Pause.
Diddy. You said that wrong.
And you had to use those words,
Look,
right?
that's why I said pause.
Okay.
Pause. But they finally arrested him. He was in New York, and his lawyer said they actually went to New York 2 weeks ago because they was expecting for this to come down. It's hard to talk about this subject without saying pause. But they was expecting for this. I was going to say action to take place, but pause. No Diddy, you know what I'm saying? But they was expecting for this to happen. I had just saw something recently where he was actually out in public at a restaurant or something, and then 2 days later he was arrested. And I think that was the first time he had really. I know there had been sightings, but this was like the first time that he had actually been out in public. Around people, and he was relaxing, having dinner or something like that, and then they arrested him. But the biggest news out of the arrest was that, first he was denied bond. That was denied. He's federally detained. And the man actually had 1,000 bottles of baby oil that was confiscated during the raid. Now, that's a lot.
It's excessive.
That's
excessive.
That's a lot. That's a lot to just have sitting around. And maybe he can say I had a party that was upcoming, so I refreshed my stock. but to have stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And I'm not sure of the I know it's sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking,
racketeering,
and
racketeering, transportation to engage
across state lines
in prostitution.
And all that is, if you fly some girls in to do something,
right?
And if any one of them said it was against their will, or if you're flying them there and they're paid to do that, and they know they were coming to conform, a lot of this stuff, people are looking at it. I'm not going to go there. Yes, he's probably going to end up being guilty, but if you look at any NFL player and any entertainer that has flown dancers from Magic City or dancers from any one of these clubs in Atlanta to another state for a bachelor's party, Vegas, 2020. Oh, no, my bad. But
are you saying it's the same?
But it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. He was having freak offs.
What do you think of Bachelor?
Okay.
He was having freak offs.
No, what I'm saying about the
he was probably having multiple people. He was even with Cass. I don't know if I can say that, but even what his ex said that he would have multiple people and have these women sleep with multiple people. So it's not the same as if a basketball player flies one female out and he sleeps with her over.
I've heard bachelor parties.
Yeah, most bachelor parties. I ain't gonna say most, but a lot of them higher end bachelor parties. There is a lot of as you call it, freak offs going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't think you did. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why he's saying it's pretty much the same thing.
I'm clutching my pearls, ladies.
But if one of them, most of the ladies know. Most of them know.
Yeah,
really?
Did
you? So you knew that at the bachelor parties?
Oh yeah.
That
that's what I'm
your
saying.
man may have
you
multiple
know-
women, and
do
him
you
and his
know- do you know
because
what-
if he's
do you know the
fine, man, that
reason-
means your man is
Do you know the reason?
also doing the same thing.
Do you know the reason for a bachelor party?
Thank you, brother.
Do
Thank you, brother.
Do you know the reason?
Her husband won't be going
Do
to
you
more
know the
bachelor
reason
parties?
for a bachelor party?
To have fun and to celebrate that you're getting married. It's not for you to. You should have been
It's to celebrate.
sowing your oats.
It's to celebrate the
Oh, is that the right
last
word?
couple the last days as a legally single man. And sometimes some people would rather do things that they legally can't do after they get married.
So
Some people, of course,
put it
I
all
didn't.
on the line. Put it all on the line.
Ain't nothing
the
on the
night
line.
before.
Oh my!
How's
It
that lying?
is.
You ain't if your fiance says I don't want to marry you, what you lose? Nothing. Other than her.
What you're putting on the line, like you said, your trust. But besides that, I'm saying you sleep with a random, the rubber can break. Anything could happen. Anything could go wrong where you get a disease.
Random one day. I mean, I get what you're saying, but
no,
yeah, okay.
I didn't know that. This is very
I've heard those.
interesting. I don't know. Like, I mean,
yeah, she thought that
my husband didn't have a bachelor
She thought
party,
that most
so-
of them played dominoes and spades.
I don't know.
Not all. Not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all.
No, because like I didn't
Yeah.
do anything at my bachelor's party,
Not all.
but most bachelor's parties, other than mine, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have one.
I just got dance and I threw some ones. We didn't pray, but we kneeled. You kneeled down? I did that.
You know, in regards to the Diddy situation, number one said that he was denied bail, all that money, he could have left the country. And I thought that a long time ago, but I think Diddy may have hid a lot of his money.
I think we're smart to do that, but I think what the reason they're going to hold it is because typically when you're dealing with sex trafficking and anything of that nature, they're automatically going to. Who wants to be the judge and let a sex trafficker escape? The bad plug you're going to get on that? Then I didn't give him a chance to run. He's going to stay in there until he has his day in court. And like I said, I think.
No, we're talking about since the raid happened and all that type stuff.
Yeah,
he could have been gone since the raid. He wasn't under any detention until
He
today.
wasn't going to go after the raid because that's that's going to be admissible in court. Why'd you run to a country with no extradition if you never done it? But I think what they did when it first went down, if I'm not mistaken, he had to give up his passport, or they could have had him flagged at airports. When you're flagged at airport, you can't take off even if they don't have it. Yeah, you can flag somebody at airport.
So can you flag someone that's only under investigation?
Depending on what it is for evidence and that he may flee for prosecution, and there's a lot of stuff that have to be there, exigent circumstances, stuff like that. But if he's doing all that, I think what's happening, it's going to set the precedent for a lot of other people because there's a lot of other entertainers that have famous parties. Jamie Foxx's has famous parties, and bucket list. So there's
Right, you never had a bachelor party, so you should go to a Jamie Foxx party. Hey, she also
I wanted
said,
to look it up, but I'm kind of glad that everything is unfolding when it comes to the sex trafficking, the things that have been going on with all of these powerful men with money. And what they have been able to get away with. Because I wanted to look it up, but sex trafficking is actually really high right now.
oh yeah,
It's
It has been for the
extremely,
last 30 years.
It's extremely high.
Atlanta used to be number one for the
yeah.
longest.
I think it's one of the most less talked about crimes out there. Honestly, you see some rallies every now and then, but people really push that under the rug. They don't talk about it. And like you said, Atlanta is a hotbed for it.
It is.
Yeah,
It
and,
is.
and
But
a
you
lot of
gotta-
people don't know it.
And see, I don't want the heat from it, but I'm gonna say it. I think when you put him in the same category as what's the guy, Weinstein, and the rest of them, I think it's unfair right now.
What?
Because when you put that when people think of sex trafficking, they think of underage girls and whatever. Most of the people involved in Diddy stuff were paid performers. And when he paid those performers to go to another state, that's why the federal charge of going to another state for an illegal act, which is the prostitution, paid prostitution. So that's trafficking and prostitution. He's not like he was knocking somebody over the head or getting a shot or something and she wakes up and there's 5 guys on it. It wasn't nothing like that. There are people that were paid to be at certain locations. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that's right, but they didn't dog Weinstein out the way they've been in P. Diddy. So, and Weinstein, nothing's ever came out, no names or nothing, but it's kind of convenient for the FBI to leak out everything that was at Diddy's house when they hit the compound,
right.
Things of that nature. But nothing, and including the Black Book, hasn't came out about Weinstein and everybody, people, let's hang Diddy, let's hang Diddy. But the reality of it is, Diddy was paying prostitutes to do what prostitutes do. He was paying dancers to do what dancers would do. The women that were with him because they thought they were going to get an album or going to get a movie role or whatever. And I'm not saying if he hitting that girl, Casey, was dead ass wrong. You don't never put your hands on a woman. But on the other side of that, Casey was there for everything and took part in everything willingly. She had 9,092 chances to get escape. And my point is, if it's something like Stockholm Syndrome or something that she was forced into, fine, but let it come out in court. He's getting a trial in media and everything's being leaked. Nothing about Weinstein. And Weinstein's list included former presidents, a prince out of England, and a lot of other people.
How do you know, you're saying that some of it was leaked, so in your opinion, everyone was a sex worker?
No, I'm just saying
when we are talking about Diddy.
A great deal of the people were. The people, everything that they've leaked and people that came forward was either a sex worker or somebody that was there willingly.
And I'm sorry, I have to take up for Cassie. This is what a lot of people.
I'm not saying Cassie was a Cassie. They were dating. They were in a relationship.
Right, you said she willingly participated. That's not true. And this is something that unless you have a family member or you have been through it, you don't understand the psychological aspects of being in a relationship and the dynamic of that being her, not only her lover, but her boss or her employer. There's a lot of aspects to it that has to be addressed.
And this is my point on this, and I'm just going to be real about it. They did it to Bill Cosby.
They
Weinstein,
did what?
Not a single thing came out about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby had people in the 60s and 70s that all of a sudden are coming forward and say, oh, Bill did this to me. Okay, they had the thing called strange fruit in the South in the 60s and all over the country. That's black men being hanged. Okay, so you mean to tell me when Bill Cosby was out there and all these hundreds of women he was supposedly doping and raping that were white, and then all of a sudden not a single one of them said, this black man has raped me, when look at Emmett Till. He looked at a white girl and got killed.
This is not during the same time. And the other thing about Bill Cosby, he was such an icon. A lot of people, I think that first off, a lot of the women really did not want to bring him down because of what he represented to us. Think about what he represented to. I very much think that they did not want to bring him down during that time.
I'm talking about now. No, you're talking about back then.
I'm saying back then, there was nothing like, just everything that he brought to he was supposed to be wholesome. And I can even remember watching, episodes of The Cosby Show and how it made you feel to see something different, right? A different portrayal of the black family. So you already had that. But the second thing in regards to Bill Cosby, these women were drugged. And what they were given, a lot of times, they didn't even know what happened. So how do you go to the police and you can't even say exactly what happened because you were passed out? They just had a woman come out that her husband had all these tapes where her husband had her sleep with, I want to say like hundreds of men. She didn't remember any of it, but the cops found all the tapes. So when you're using these date rape drugs, there is not a clear memory of what happened.
And
The women might be
that was
sore
the
the
problem
next
I had
day.
with the Bill
But the
Cosby
point
thing
I have
is
about-
if they use the date rape drug, how did they 40 years later remember what happened? That was not saying that he didn't do anything, but I'm just saying is if the date rape drug was used and it supposedly had your memory to where you couldn't remember what happened, how did the memory become clear 60 or 40 and 50 years later?
And
that's why it makes me feel that
some of
that
the-
some
Let's take
television,
facts, yeah.
some television conglomerate, one of them CBS's, Paramounts, whatever it is, made sure that he went down.
Y'all
You gotta
really
look
want to
at it
just
when
make
he
like
went-
like
I'm
this
not
man
saying he
can't
was
do
right.
nothing
None of
wrong.
this came
no,
out.
this is not what we're saying.
None
Listen
of
to what
this
we're saying.
came out until after NBC. When he tried to buy NBC, he had a group together and he had the money. The money worked all the way out. They refused to sell. That's what a lot of people don't realize. They refused to sell NBC to him. It wasn't a situation where he didn't have the money backing. After that, all of a sudden they started attacking Bill Cosby. The same women, some of which had been paid off, hush money before, and all this other stuff all of a sudden came forward, but this stuff has always been out there about Bill Cosby. Not saying it was factual or not, but it was always
It was
out.
factual,
And what I'm saying
and
is,
it's always been out there. He even did they even found where he talked about it. He made it part of the joke with even buying Spanish Fly and giving it to women to get them to do whatever he wanted them to do. And I want to address what Jae Tea was saying. Some of the accounts were not exactly detailed, but they just remember aspects of it. So it's a deep topic, and I think it's something that you guys may not understand, and even I might not understand fully, and a lot of women might not understand fully. A lot of men might not understand fully unless they have worked with someone or been a victim of this type of abuse. Because yes, they had memories of it, but they didn't know everything that happened. So you go to the police and you say, I think something happened. I woke up, I was sore. I kind of
Nah,
remember
this is 40
something.
Years ago.
And
This is 40 years later.
But that's what I'm saying.
They can't say
may,
I woke up and I was sore 40 years ago.
what I'm saying is, at the time, they may have felt like, who's going to believe me, and what even am I going? The reason why
black
I
man
have
in the
I see what
I have a
in
closer
America.
connection
I
because
see what
I've
you're
worked
saying.
in domestic violence shelters for over 10 years, for probably maybe 15 years. So I know a lot that goes on, and the mental
This is a
there's a big
aspect
difference
of it.
between domestic
Yeah.
violence and what we're talking about. That's total different.
No.
That's
This
a total
it's
different
not a
animal.
difference, because sexual abuse is still part of domestic violence.
Yes, it is part of it,
Okay.
but it's not a qualifying part of domestic violence.
What are you talking about?
Okay, if you got domestic violence,
That's
it could
not
just
true.
be verbal, it could be physical, it could be verbal, physical, and sexual.
Sexual.
For sex, but it's not always that.
Financial.
It's not, and financial also. So we're not even. That's a total different animal. What we're talking about is people that take a consensual act and years later come back when a person cannot defend themselves or make any defense over on an allegation. That's what I'm talking about. Not saying none of it didn't happen, but it was not any definitive case. It was enough people going. You
It
throw
was a
enough shit at the
definitive
wall, it'll
case.
stick.
It was a definitive case. There was a lady that reported it back then, and he was on tape admitting that he did it. Did you not know that?
And that's the one that was paid, and she received
Okay.
funds for that.
So, but what I'm saying is, he already admitted that he did these things. He's
In a
already
comedy show?
admitted.
Admit- okay.
No, not
Oh, okay.
not the. He has a deposition.
Oh, the
He has a
deposition.
deposition that he
Deposition.
admitted it.
Okay.
So. Right. Same thing. Same
Gotcha.
thing like with R. Kelly. The only problem that I
R. Kelly
have
had
with all of
tapes.
these, the problem that I have with all of these situations is that, okay, you have people, whether they are white men or black men, that sometimes choose to do the wrong thing. You have a lot of good men out here, but you have men that choose to do the wrong thing.
Exactly.
However, it seems like in our community, there's always someone trying to put a whole conspiracy behind some of these men that are predators. Just leave it at that. They are a predator.
R. Kelly
They may
was
be
a
a predator.
straight
Everything is
predator.
not a conspiracy.
R. Kelly was a straight
no, I'm not saying
predator.
everything is a conspiracy, but everything also.
R. Kelly,
and I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that Bill Cosby was right. I just found it. I didn't look into it too much, to be honest with you, but I just was like, damn, 40, 50 years later, do you know? And saying something in a comedy routine, you know how many comics would go to jail today if they really use what they said in their routine?
But why would you make a joke about raping women?
Have you been to a comedy show? It makes people laugh.
Okay.
People laugh.
That's sad.
People laugh at tragedy.
That's
it's
sad.
called an off-color joke. I don't particularly like that humor, but
people laugh at tragedy.
Right.
People laugh at circumstance. People laugh at violence these days. Look at this. You look at these fighting videos on social media.
My point is, you simply had
it's crazy that people laugh at that
a
stuff.
man that was supplying underage women to famous figures, actors, political people, powerful
about
people,
Weinstein
all
right now.
over Weinstein, all over the world, and they haven't blinked at any. Nothing has came out of that. Heidi Fleiss, same thing. Her book has never been divulged. Parts of Diddy's case are already getting leaked out. You know, I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm just saying the way the
different.
media is covering him,
the way they're
nobody's
covering the black man
demanding
is a little
Weinstein's
different,
book.
yeah.
And Weinstein, they know it was underage girls being taken to the island. So when it's underage people and you're trying to put that in the same category with somebody that paid prostitution coming across state lines, boom, racketeering charges because he did it multiple times. Yeah, when you hear those words, you're saying, woo, 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 woo. And I'm not saying it's something that should be over. I'm not saying P. Diddy's somebody you want to watch your kids. I'm just simply saying that they're putting his business out there before the charges, and then they put the charges on him, and it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to divulge any of this. We're not going to say anything. The fact is, when you put yourself out there to do something like that, get him for what he did, but I want to see the same treatment with everybody else that's been involved in that situation.
Right.
From
He's not
Heidi
saying
Fleiss
I can agree, but at the same time, remember, he's a celebrity. He is an entertainer. So, and he is somebody that's flamboyant, that's always putting himself out there. So, of course, the media is going to sensationalize it because of who he is.
But what he's saying
nobody
is,
even really cared about, a lot of people didn't care about who Weinstein was or
Everybody
what he
did. That's underage. That's not.
I'm not
you can't
saying
say
no.
the
I'm
two in
not
the
saying
same
the
sense.
charges. I'm not saying the charges. I'm saying before these charges came out, were you following him? Did you know anything about Weinstein? That's all I'm
Yes.
saying. Okay, well maybe you were. You might. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. Like we are very, we feel connected to P. Diddy, a lot of us. We grew
not
up on
connected
P.
to him.
Diddy's
I don't
music.
rock with his music.
So for
I'm
this
just
to
saying.
come out,
I rock with the Bad Boy, the music and everything,
Right.
but the whole
With
Cassie,
Biggie,
the
not him.
whole Cassie thing. There's nothing that he could say, nothing that he could do
Now.
That was fine.
to absolve him of that.
Now.
Period. Then either.
But he
There-
lied.
there's
But I'm
nothing-
saying
there's
before the
nothing-
tape came out, he said
Yeah,
it
but
was
I'm
all
saying
false.
he
Denied
can't
it.
he can't absolve himself from that because
Right.
that tape came out. There's nothing that he could say. But I see what he's saying in regards to when someone of color is usually prosecuted in the media. It's hard, you put a jury, they're supposed to be sequestered and all that. They done read the whole case before they get picked to be on the jury.
Yeah.
So that's what he's saying with that. But
And evidence is being okay. Why would you say?
I said Diddy
think
should have
about
left the country a
legally.
long time ago because I thought he was guilty a long time
But
ago.
my point is, they wouldn't have got it. But
That's
you got to
terrible.
look at.
You wanted him to get
the
away,
fact-
JT? You wanted him to get away, JT?
I said if he wanted to get away, this is what you need to do.
And you got to look
Hey.
at the situation with the island stuff. Okay, Diddy, they said that they leaked the fact that there's 10,000 bottles of baby oil or whatever it is, number. And then when he was at his compound, they found sex tapes. Now, granted, these are feds searching on a damn search warrant, and evidence is leaked out. They're not taking it to the local police and say, hey, carry this
Right.
out to the car. They have evidence tests. When you find something, you don't even move it. They take a picture of it in place. They put a number or a letter, depending on what that particular unit's system is, and they start cataloging. You got somebody that comes in with a computer that all she does, I'm sorry,
is logging
or
in.
him is logging in.
Right.
None of this shit just falls in with, oh, I just happened on the crime scene. No, you're not even allowed in the building unless you're part of a search.
Right.
So all this gets leaked out, and everybody's, ooh, he had sex tapes of everybody. Yeah, they had him in the closet. He had camera systems in his bedroom. All this shit gets leaked out. And all I'm simply saying, that's getting leaked out, okay. But now you have somebody that clearly invited politicians, past and present, to an island with underage girls, and we ain't had shit poop coon about any damn thing. You haven't heard a single name out of that get leaked out of the same agencies.
I've heard some names.
The same agencies. That's what pictures came up, but no, the list is there. Heidi Fleiss, same thing. That list to this day has never been released. But when Diddy does it, they're telling all the contents of on a search warrant. That's bullshit.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I also think that a lot of the witnesses were leaking information and doing videos and talking about it, and but I do agree with you that the way they've handled it.
And I'm in no way
was
saying
not
he's
professional.
guilty, not guilty. I'm not in no way saying it was right what he did to Cassidy, but almost 1,000,000,000% you had people that willingly got paid to do certain acts, going to a location. Diddy parties are renowned for that kind of heinous acts. So you're going there, but now you got underage people that quote unquote don't know any better. That's why they're certainly under the age of consent, and nobody's fighting the same battle for them, but they want to strain his brother up onto the highest tree simply on some stuff that everybody was consenting adults. Nobody ran out of a Diddy party with a toe ass and didn't say,
with the
I
what?
was raped, a toe ass. They said there was a lot of LGBTQ stuff going in there.
But I think I'm not even shocked by the terminology. I'm shocked by how do you know?
No,
were you at the party? How do you know nobody ran out of there?
My point is, if it would have happened, Diddy being there, paparazzis, anywhere he goes, you got paparazzi people, the film people, camera people. So paparazzi. So if you got paparazzi there and nobody walked out, the same 100 limos that come in and the same 100 limos that leave out, and not a single complaint over 15, 20 years? And then after the fact, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, I've heard how those parties were. Oh, I was at one, but I left before that started. It starts after 2. Come on now. It's like...
But this stuff has been going around. And even with Weinstein, a lot of that stuff had been going around. People were talking amongst themselves the same way they did with P. Diddy. So
it's still showing up. Well, like I said, we'll see how it plays out. He's going to he clearly committed those crimes, so he's going to be dealt with. But my whole point is, all this rushing and nothing happened to Weinstein. You got a guy that, people commit suicide under suicide watch.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I know. I think that's why I was trying to figure out which one he was. Yeah.
Well, that's my point. It's on the prosecution. They covered it up. The book has never came out. Come on, we don't even know what made of the property.
What book has never came out?
With the list of his clients.
His clients that was in the book. Yeah, I wonder if...
I think with Diddy, though, a lot of people are talking. That's what I kind of feel like. I feel like they're just, they are talking.
They can talk, but it has nothing to do with the evidence. The evidence on the scene...
I agree.
But
as in regards to evidence being leaked.
A DA will destroy you if you were out talking about what's on the scene, and nobody's addressed that. Nobody's addressed the fact that they know what
that
the FBI was finding in the houses. Our sources say, you know what a source will get you? If your ass will be in a courtroom, and if you want to hold on to it, stay in jail for 30 days.
But it's like number one said, all those employees who turned a blind eye, and all those women stuck around for... Those are the people, because I've always wondered what's going to happen to all of these people that were there looking at whatever happened.
Or taking part in it.
Just like a lot of people that was his security came out in regards to once the Cassidy video came out, all of these folks, these security people came out talking about, yeah, I was there, blah, blah, blah. You were there.
The same thing that's going to
But now
happen
that the video comes out,
to the people that
so
were
now
helping
you
R.
coming out.
Kelly.
So now you coming out with it.
Nothing.
So yeah, because
Nothing.
I'm thinking that they've struck deals to where now they're talking.
I think for me, the other issue is that I personally feel like black women are the least protected in
Facts.
general.
I agree
And
with
so when some of these cases come out, it is, I guess it's bittersweet because I do want to see
Them
people
get
that are
caught.
harming
Right.
or taking advantage of, that are
But you hate it for
attacking,
the victims.
black women to be, for them to get justice. But at the same time, you have this dynamic of people feeling like, oh, only black men are put on the spot and are put in the media's eye and are destroyed in the media. But if they did it, then they did it.
Oh no,
know,
but
that's
saying
that,
don't
that, that, that,
If
but
they did
you
it,
lumping
then
that
they
together.
did it.
Look,
Yeah,
you lumping
I am.
that together.
I am.
That you gotta. I see what you're saying. I thought you would say it was bittersweet because you want to see them caught,
Right.
But you hate that for them to get caught, there had to be more victims. In regards to this
I want to see justice for black women, but I don't
But
want to
this
see
is-
our community taken down because that's what a lot of black men feel like. They feel like, oh,
It's
they
not-
are
but-
attacking the black man.
but you-
But
but-
really,
but-
we're just
no, no,
holding
no,
him
no.
accountable
If
for
he's
things
wrong,
that
he's
he's
wrong.
done.
No.
Okay.
This
Well, he was saying.
this is what he was saying.
Okay.
He's saying that they're attacking the black man differently than they attack the white man. He's not saying that the black man is innocent. Mm-hmm. There's black criminals out there that should go to jail.
Right.
But if they're treated differently than the white criminal that
Right.
did pretty much the same thing, that's where it's two totally different things. But I see what you're saying.
Right.
But it's two totally different things. He's he ready for Diddy to go in.
Yeah.
I promise
I met a
I was
lot
just
of
thinking about
comments
him
about
taking
Diddy
up for
in-
Bill
in the
Cosby,
past.
too.
But
So
my
that's
point
why.
is, you got which one? Weinstein was a director. Epstein is just a guy that kept the young girls. Okay, so you got Epstein and you got Weinstein. Both of the Steens walked and none of the business. Well, one hung, the other
Most of the Steens.
one hung. But my point is that none of that was leaked out. That's my only thing is the way they're going at him like he's public enemy number one. Look at going back, and I know
Why
this
do you
gonna
say
get
none of it was leaked out? You saying like the evidence that they collected?
yeah, none of it
Okay.
was collected was leaked
Okay.
out. People can talk
Okay. Mm-hmm.
all they want, but then you got to look at the other things. You can go back to Michael Vick
Mm-hmm.
in his trial. Everybody glossed over the fact that that was the first federal prosecution of a dog fighting organization ever in history, and there hasn't been one since. They brought I was on a task force at the time, and just about they lost multiple agents from the Atlanta office that had to go there to just gather evidence. Now you're talking about a dog fighting case, and we're not talking like I know people love their pets more than they love black people, but my point is simply saying this: they went ham
that's facts.
on Michael Vick over dogs. Weinstein was Epstein was the one with the underage girls. Weinstein was the one who was doing the lay on my couch and you get the part, which I think was hideous. Mm-hmm. But some of them that got the part never spoke on. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But when you get Epstein, there's not this big thing of these were underage girls. These are underage girls. We need to hang him. We need to destroy him. Anybody was involved in it. Even the people that they know went to the island where these underage girls were, nobody's running up to the ones that you know were there and saying, hey, look, you're on the island with underage girls. You didn't see them. You didn't report it. That's a crime in itself. And so that's all I'm saying is the way they go ham on blacks, and it was in law enforcement. In this particular case, I had an agent actually tell me, I've never seen them. This is the first time. First time I heard this is the first time they ever prosecuted a dog fighting case federally was on this one. And so I'm just saying, you see it, and it's not just this. It's the allocation of funds. It's the placement of police services. It's two distinct different things. And only thing I'm saying about it, they're going hard on Diddy, and nobody, think about it. Nobody else has been charged with anything in the Epstein case. They know who flew the planes. Why? Because those chartered planes.
With Epstein, that's not true.
His right hand woman was charged.
Yes, they searched for her. They hunted her down.
That flew in with girls, you have to have a manifest and a log. Every private jet and everything
the truth is, we already know that we're prosecuted differently in America. Period. I mean, we know this.
No, but you got to look at the detail of what they ignored. Okay, when you get a flight, and you go to Charlie Brown and take off on a private jet, they're going to have a manifest of who's on there. Okay? When you fly into another country or wherever you go, the customs has to look at that. Those people have their names on it in ages. There's people that they could go back and find those people. They've made no attempts. Or they're not prosecuting or going after them. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me ask you this. First, let me say, I definitely think that it's just been proven we're prosecuted differently when it comes to the same crimes. We already know this. However, did they do the same thing with R. Kelly for years? He had a whole team around him that was bringing him young girls.
This is what happened with R. Kelly?
He had a whole team around him that watched him. They said they would be in the house and saw what he was doing, how he had women locked in different rooms or at the studios.
And they should have been charged accordingly.
And that he literally, I can remember years ago when an article came out, when the videotape came out, and people talking about they had interviewed some young girls that had been with him. Nothing happened.
No,
he did not even go to jail for what? How many? What year? Somebody tell us what year that the videotape came out.
A lot of people don't know this.
Maybe 15, 20 years.
Chicago PD had cases. There's other jurisdictions had cases. What happened was he paid them off.
That's my point.
Once somebody pays off, it doesn't work like that with that particular crime. If somebody recants their story, or when you go in to interview them and they say it didn't, the witnesses. When the witnesses come forward and say it didn't happen, that's why he walked on those cases.
What I'm talking about is that he was still able to get out of it for years.
Yeah, he
was able to get out of it for years.
Of course you can if the witnesses are recanting their stories.
And okay, however, you're saying that you just said the people on the plane, the manifest, all of these things will be available, and they were not, they didn't do anything with this information, correct? And I'm saying that even in the R. Kelly case, he was able to get away with the stuff for years, and he had a whole team around him that they could have subpoenaed, that they could have.
And those people did make statements. Those people were called in to make statements. That's how they finally got the case when the feds decided to take the case up.
Because even with the young girl, Sparkle came out and said, that's my niece. And she was 13 or 14 at the time.
Okay. And when it came down to the prosecution, a lot of those witnesses were paid not to testify. But when you're putting the same thing, just let everybody have the same litmus test. That's all I'm saying. You can't compare apple to oranges when the oranges are treated one way and apples are treated a different way. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that. That's... You have to be blind to not see that we are definitely treated wrong, treated differently. The jails were built for us to keep us in slavery.
Not just. I don't agree with that, but I think.
Oh, yes, it was.
But I think now the commercialized. No, I think not back then, but now with the commercialized prison system in America, yes.
When they first created them, think about it. Right after slavery, when we started getting all our rights, the jails were created to take all those rights because they didn't want us to vote. What happens when you get a felony?
They've always had jails.
I'm saying you get all your rights taken. You get your rights taken. You cannot vote. And who builds the roads? Who do you see on the sides of the roads? Think about it. No, seriously.
Now Mexicans.
Y'all silly. Y'all are silly. You see inmates because they get to, you literally put back into slavery when you get locked up, because now they can use you for free labor and they take away your rights. Think about it.
But you have to do something to get locked up.
Yeah, that now.
But do you? But do you?
Yeah, you do. When you
If
talk
you're
about
black,
those,
do you?
Yeah, you do. You do. I'm not,
Okay,
I
what
can't
about
rock
what's
with
his
that.
name? Malik Browder, Khalif Browder, the young guy that somebody came and told the police that he stole the backpack. He did not have the backpack on him. They said this has happened.
The kid in New York.
Yeah, the kid in New York. What's
Yeah.
his name? Khalif
Bauer, yeah.
Khalif
yeah.
Bauer. He
Yeah,
didn't do anything, and he was at Rikers for like 2 years.
I'll say.
People get lost in the system. Fully
I'll say it.
I'm saying 'cause it's built for us.
Now, there are some people that do end up, in jail when they actually didn't do nothing. But
Some.
folks, but most of them that's in there, let's
did
be
it.
honest. Now, I'm
They
black.
did it.
But we got some fucked up people in our race. Some of them fuck up, and they need to go to jail. And they need to be on the side of the
Of
street picking up
course.
some garbage. If they need to lay some pavement, they need to lay some.
It's some messed up people in every race.
Yeah.
So I would have to agree because in every race.
But we just talking about the black folks being on the side
Yes.
because we're talking about slavery.
Yes.
Some of those, and I will. And again, this is just my opinion because I'm not looking up stats or whatever. Because you really won't know until somebody is actually released, or they go through that whole thing where you find out that it was actually innocent. But I would say, just on my opinion, I would say 85 to 90% of the folks that go to prison, not jail, it's a difference, that go to prison are actually guilty.
Black people?
Yeah.
Anybody.
I don't.
Yeah, I go with anybody.
No, I
Yeah.
think the statistic is that 90% of black people, if they go to trial, they get found guilty. So 80%, I think it's 70 or 80% of the population will plead because
They take
they
the
don't
plea.
want to take their chances.
Take a chance, yeah. But hey, that's,
So that's why you can't go. You don't know. You really don't know
But
that
if they
number.
took the plea,
because
they
by the
took the plea.
time,
they took the plea.
like even with Khalif,
Yeah, now
he
that
fought
one,
it
yeah.
the whole time, and guess where he sat? In
Because
jail.
he couldn't make pawn. Now,
because
that's
he
what-
could not afford a
that's what's
lawyer.
What was messed up about that? He should have been pointed a public defender. He fell through the holes in the system.
Yeah, right.
It happened.
Yeah.
It's happened in Fulton County where there's inmates that remained past when they should have. There's been people that they thought were out on bond and weren't. They were sitting in jail until their case came back around. There's a
That's
lot of
crazy.
times, and those people get paid. Some of them don't know to get paid, so it
that's
doesn't
crazy.
happen. But as far as saying that every black person that gets arrested, now the vast majority of them, particularly now because of body cams, they did what they said they did. Now where I think the institutionalized racism affects it is the fact that there's less opportunities and a lot of black youth feel disenfranchised with the American dream, so they don't see it as something they can actually pursue. So now when they get caught into the system, they did what they did, but they did it because they don't feel that there's any other way for them to make it. That's where I think that there needs to be work at giving more opportunity to black youth, fixing the school systems and things of that nature. But to say that somebody that commits a crime's ass shouldn't go to jail, no. Most of them did exactly what you said they did, and they need to go to jail for it. Now, as far as the conviction parts of it, if you do not can afford a competent lawyer in the system, you have some people that are do-gooders that become public defenders because they want to help the downtrodden. But the vast majority of the public defenders are the people that fucked up so bad in law school, nobody else wants them, but they pass the bar, and they'll go and be a public defender and get experience. And then when they get a lot of experience doing cases, now a law office will pick them up because they have experience. So they go there to get the experience.
Is this something that you know for sure, or is this just
No, that's everybody knows it. Anybody
Or
that
just
works with the
speculation?
judicial system in America will tell you that. Lawyers will tell you that.
I got about 2-3 minutes. All right. We were going to get onto the whole educational thing, but of course, a classic conversation happened, and we kept going and going and going, so we wasn't able to get there. But I wanted to go over some of these comments because we also didn't get a break, so I can go over some of the comments. Let's see, Diddy, Bill. Different. Frank said different times, different locations. Cop Emmett Till, Strange Fruit was Billie Holiday, completely different situations. Rohypnol
Strange
was
Fruit was
more-
hanging on black males. That's what I was referencing. And then I said the Emmett Till situation because he was attacked and dealt with for just looking at a white woman and whistling. So no, I was right on that. The Strange Fruit was I was making the comment that black people got hung during
Yeah.
that same time period and were getting hung and dragged.
They just
That's what
had
I
a-
meant
they
by
just
that.
found a young
Emmett
man
Till
hung recently,
whistled
too.
and looked at.
Yeah,
So
we
that's-
wanted to get into that too. Wasn't able to get there. Rohypnol was more recent. Not sure when it became prevalent. Other drugs may have been used. Hard to defend them. I have cases in the military when things happen in domestic violence. That was Frank. Sexual and mental abuse. I think many will ever agree on what actually happened, and not sure if we're speaking of Diddy or Bill Cosby then. Number one said Playboy Hugh Hefner never got charged with all the sex, drugs, and trafficking underage girls that were at the Playboy Mansion all the time. Hefner should have, and Frank said Hefner should have been charged with more than that. Number one said women just need to take control of their lives and their body.
Was that a man or a woman?
Number one is a woman. Frank said she is spot on. We defend who we like. She's talking about you, and he was saying R. Kelly, Diddy, etc. Hollywood. Number one said Hollywood is always taking a blind eye. Blah, 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 blah. Millennial Coalition. I think the fact that Cop is making a valid point. The way the media covers black people is always like they are parading them to the masses as breaking the buck. Harvey Weinstein was actually sent to rehab at first. Number one said you have black entertainers, the gatekeepers doing what Diddy allegedly did. No folks in the business, nothing is surprising. Frank said one was sexual harassment and one was sex trafficking. Frank, if you're still on, put a comment down on which one you was talking about in regards to that. Number one said a young black mother is dead because of Trump and Brian Kemp abortion ban. Let's talk about her. I have to look that one up.
Weinstein was the sex harassment. Epstein was the sex trafficking.
Look, and I saw this one when y'all, I was sitting there like this. He was like, "Where's Olivia Benson and Detective Finn? This is turning into an episode of SVU."
Hey.
That's a compliment.
Hey.
That's a compliment, boy. Shoot. Look, I'm waiting for, I think it's October 22nd when the new episodes come out. That's Law and Order Wednesday. I'm waiting on it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the top 5. And we're going to do, what are we going to do here? Let's go with top 5 influential black musicians. Oh, wait, of 2024?
Of 2024?
Shit. I don't know if I can give them. Yeah.
Okay, I got
top 5 influential black musicians of 2024.
Nah, I know. I got a list.
And and we'll be right back. 2 minutes.
Police officer chose the combative route at that point. There was no point for him to say, all right, matter of fact, get out the car. You know what I mean? Because he'd already complied at this point.
Yeah, they opened up the door and pulled him
He
out.
already complied at this point. You know what I mean? So you open up the door and pull him out, he'd already complied. And now you snatching him out. You know what I mean? Then you putting him face down. Now you handcuffing. You know what I mean? What are we doing this for? At this point, what's the charge? You know what I mean? The charge was you pissed me off. That was the charge.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. And so...
Because he wasn't clocked. He wasn't clocked, so they can't get him on speeding.
Yeah.
There wasn't no space to pacing. They could have got him for a reckless driving if there was anybody crossing the streets. So yeah, he did push the envelope on it, and Tyreek gave him the bait, and he took it.
He gave him the bait. You know what I mean? That's why I said I can't just say Tyreek was 100% innocent. He could have, you got a game. you got pulled over. He could have handled it differently.
All right, y'all, we back, man. We are back. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo.
And that's a cup.
Man, I keep looking for my armrest on this chair.
I got you.
I keep trying to put
I
myself
got you.
up.
I'll put my arm on this rest. Is she
I just need
ready?
to sit up. There you go. Ugh. Oh, that's crazy. I've been doing it all day. I've been like this. Right, I got the middle seat. I got the middle seat.
Right.
Go ahead and give your social media. Any closing
okay. I was
argument
gonna say
you
I don't know
wanna
my five. So
No,
my
not yet,
social
not yet,
media,
not
my IG is Gyzay Sunray.
give. Any closing that you want to say real quick before we get into the top? She ain't giving nothing else. She's man, I ain't mad at her.
And once you find me there, that's it.
And Frank said, "What exactly are they influencing in regards to the top influence?" Top. Yeah, Frank right there with me and Angelo. Yeah. Number one said exactly, Frank, influencing what and who?
Influencing some foolishness.
Yeah, got to dig deep. It doesn't mean that they actually came out in 2024. It's just that it could have been somebody from the 80s that actually had something that happened in 2024. Something of influence that happened in 2024. Last 2 years. Okay. So let's.
I got mine. Then.
Thank you. I need help.
First? Yeah, I go first.
I need
All right, go ahead. Ask
Thank you for that save.
I told him I need to use his phone.
I said Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, because his last album's hit.
Okay.
Yeah,
his last album's just on fire.
And
I say
and his movie.
Beyonce, because of crossover she did into country. Travis Scott.
That was huge.
And I would probably say Taylor Swift.
That was huge. I don't think people realize how
because
influential that
she done
was
turned everything
of Beyonce going in the country because you got to see other.
Oh yeah, she had the
Black
number
artists.
one selling, and then this is another thing.
That's dope.
She had the number one country album this year and didn't get a single vote for best artist or new artist.
Yeah.
No,
She
but
wants
country, the
that
country,
too.
from the country,
Yeah.
from the country.
She
And
but
But it's a
They
point.
talking about she
How
got
can you
everything
not
else.
get a
We
single
want
point
that too.
When you had the best-selling country album,
If you put in
your
the work-
people bought the album, and nobody that voted took the time to vote for her.
yes,
right. We ain't voting
No,
for no
white
country.
people
Yes.
bought that album.
We not voting for no
Yes,
country
she
award.
had the number one country album in the world this year. Yes, not even close. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at glitter,
there's
cowboy
more-
hats and boots
Yeah.
in the stores now
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of Beyonce.
She did it. She
All
did it
hail
at the
to
right
the queen.
time too. Right when that show, I can't think of the name of it, it's coming back. What's the show that was on CBS? The dudes out in the Cowboys, and they was talking about it. No.
You out of control back there. You out of
new
control.
one, that new one. But Fargo also, because Fargo is hitting. But she came out with it at the right time, and she broke in. Now the cowboy hats, brothers are starting to wear more. Brothers that I have never seen think about being a cowboy or wearing cowboy boots now.
Yellowstone.
You know what I'm saying? Yellowstone. That's it. When she came out at the right time, and I've seen I think 3 other black female country western artists that's doing their thing now. It's doing their thing. You ready for yours? Or want me to go to Dwayne?
Go to Dwayne. I kind of got an
What you
idea.
got,
Go to
Dwayne?
Dwayne.
Because I was about to forget. My first one is Mr. Beasley. All right? This white guy goes around to African countries and puts water in their water wells and all kinds of water stuff that they need. It's kind of cool. And he has a Zaxby's box, so my daughter makes me buy it. Number 2. So yeah, I'm gonna do all kind of people that influence. Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. Most controversial, talked about thing in 2024 so far.
So
Cat
we
Williams
just
interview.
doing artists, not music?
No, I said Cat Williams. Cat Williams ain't no artist.
He don't do no musically.
I know. I thought we was just doing musicians.
You said music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah,
said
you from the ball on that one.
I mean, he sung a couple lines.
Okay. All right. So number 5, Drake for the loss. You lost, brother. You lost. And
He set us. Did he set us light skins back?
He ain't set y'all back because he don't write nothing. So I
He ain't-
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
I
He
knew
ain't like us.
I knew,
He ain't like
I knew
us.
that if he had to keep up, writing, he can't do that because he don't write. So he would have to have somebody to help him keep up, and that
Yeah, he definitely writes.
some stuff. Okay, yeah. So that's all I'm saying. All right, number 2, Rick Ross. And the reason why I'm gonna pick Rick Ross is because he's the funniest man on Instagram. Anytime he on Instagram saying something, it's funny. Okay. Number 3, the other funny man on Instagram, 50 Cent. And he got Streetport on lock, got that little studio. But 50 Cent, 1, he got the power. 2, he got all, you know what I'm saying? He got the, the movies. And then when he say something on Instagram, it's funny. All right. Number 2, y'all gonna hate me for one of my favorite people, Charleston White. I know but let me say this: he influenced people because he messed with artists. He messed with Boosie. He messed with T.I. He messed with all these. He messed with the old block folks. You know what I'm saying? So I like Charleston White because he is calling out the rappers for the music they are bringing to the culture and not putting back into the culture. So yeah, Charleston White is in music.
Does he have an album out?
He do got a song out. Okay.
Okay.
Number one. Okay. Yeah, Charleston White got a song out. All right. Last but not least. All right. Number one. Who am I gonna go with?
I need one more.
All right. We're gonna go with Killer Mike for the
Killer
Grammy Award winning album, Michael. And that thing still riding to this day. I still listen to it in the gym. We going.
All right, my list is not extensive, and I'm not gonna give no reasons why. It is what it is. One, I don't think anybody's ever heard of it, but Callie, she's a pretty dope rap artist. So if we're gonna be on rap artists, we're gonna be Callie, Meg, and she still got bitches out here thinking they savages. Who else was I thinking about? Sheesh. This is what happens when you stop listening to this kind of music.
Right. I feel you.
I'm like, wait a minute. I don't really have that many of these people. Okay, Tyler the Creator. We'll definitely say Tyler the Creator. What's that little girl name? Glorilla. She got everybody thinking they from Memphis, and they ain't.
You trying to twerk on them headlights?
Yeah, I'm not with it. Y'all ain't from Memphis. Stop playing. What's that? 3 or 4? That's 4. That was 4. Yeah, I said Callie, Meg, Tyler.
You forgot Megan Thee Stallion.
I said Meg number 2.
Oh, you did? Okay, I didn't hear you.
Mike.
You didn't say Meg.
You didn't say Meg. That's terrible. And I'm going to go
She
ahead
knew
and say
my mind was
Childish Gambino, because he is that guy. So there you go. I'm done.
You ain't got to let Meg know where you at. She know.
She know where I'm at.
That's okay. Why you looking at me like that? Like I know where she at to be like, let her know, Ben. All right, Andre 3000. Ain't nobody ever dropped the flute, and everybody was waiting on lyrics, and he only put the lyrics in the song titles.
Yeah.
But what filled it up? Playing a flute.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Shabuzi. That's the country dude that redid Tipsy. Yep.
Tipsy. Bar song.
Exactly. Changed the game on locks and country.
Nigerian.
Gilly the Kid. And my last 2, Bando Stone and Donald Glover.
There we go. Let's go.
They're not the same. They are not the same.
Bando Stone.
You ready?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say my girl Beyonce, stepping out the box and doing that thing. And let me see, Kendrick Lamar making the most, the dopest diss track. And I like Drake. However, that's going down in the record books.
Yeah, Drake got drugged.
That was a straight murder. Taylor Swift for the shout out and for her art, what she did. Andre 3000 because I meditate to that flute album. I really enjoy it. And D1 for bringing awareness to the lyrics and calling artists, some of these rap artists, to take accountability for the energy and for the lyrics that they're putting out into our
I
community.
like D1 too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go over some of see if anybody was able to figure out something up here from the Old Folk Coalition. Let's see. Yep. They couldn't think of nothing. Have a great night.
Y'all listen to music no more? What's going on here?
They're like, no.
Music is life. Y'all better start listening to some music.
Yeah. They're like,
music soothes the soul.
It does.
They're like, no, we all got a no-go on this assignment. We clearly did not understand. It's all
You got
right.
like Jimmy Allen, Kane. We killing country music.
All right. So mine. First is actually Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar, because the simple fact in one because the simple fact that Jay-Z bucked the trend of thinking that because the Super Bowl is in your city, we got to go with the artist that's in your city. I'm doing them like that. Have y'all seen Lil Wayne lately? Have y'all seen him lately? Why do you want him on the stage for the Super Bowl? Have y'all seen him lately?
Okay, but here's my thing about that. It didn't have to necessarily be Lil Wayne. He could have had his part because he has been doing some terrible performances. But Juvie,
Hey,
that whole
again,
vibe.
everybody
Come on, y'all.
what Juvie got? How many songs Juvie
I'm
got?
saying the whole crew.
How many?
The whole crew.
Well,
What about Master P?
I still think that
And Cash Money?
I still think that Kendrick
Bruh.
Lamar will bring somebody. I think Kendrick Lamar will
Y'all
bring
had-
somebody out there, but as far Jay-Z, appreciate you saying that. Just because it's in your city, we ain't got to use your artist.
The Super Bowl like all the women beaters.
Sexy Red, you influence people what the fuck not to be. Thank you.
Get him sexy.
Usher Raymond, because of the speech that he made at the award show in regards to honoring his mother and not letting the non-love from his father keep him down. It's something
Wow.
that I live on. Growing up in a single-parent household is not going to be the excuse for black men to fail.
I just met her last week too.
Who else to say? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was at the Olympics. I think they said he was getting paid $500,000 per day to be there. To look at what Snoop Dogg came from to where he's at in 2024 is nothing but amazing. And he's actually going to be a judge on that show on NBC. And he's wearing the Death Row pendant. When you can get on NBC and wear the Death Row pendant around your neck every week, hey man, you made it. Snoop Dogg.
He's definitely the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going.
Snoop
he keeps
Dogg.
going.
Snoop Dogg.
He's got
Yeah.
the Death Row Masters now too.
Yeah, Death Row is his. That's 4, right? 3 or 4? 4? I'm gonna go with it. Diddy. Because you got caught, I'm hoping that you would teach others to stop doing it and not teach others how to get away with it.
Good point.
That's what that is. An honorable mention would be 50 Cent, because 50 Cent is always there. 50 is always there, boy. He is always there. You got anything, homie? Done. You good?
I'm good.
All right. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure. Keep praying for my nephew. Appreciate them all. Saw another picture of him. I still hadn't talked to him yet, but he's doing good. Atlanta Cigar Week. I told my man Tony Hall I would shout him out. Hey, bro, last night was dope. Y'all keep it going. I'm not gonna be at every night this week because of my age, and now I got a job. But I will see y'all later in the week. I think that's gonna do it, man. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea and Lo,
Now it's a cop.
and we out.
Hey.